have the courage to start? Do you have the commitment to finish? And do you have the clarity of vision, seeing exactly what you've got to get done, that you're going to stick it out no matter what? And this great quote that I got was, a man can only be beaten in two ways, if he gives up or he dies. And that was the level of commitment I had.
Every single day you wake up, you have a choice. You can either be negative or positive. Which one do you think is going to enhance your life? Duh!
Trevor Altman from Edison Colligate High School, here with Lieutenant Dan of the Navy SEALs. So my first question for you is, what does SEAL stand for?
Sea, air, and land.
Navy SEALs, sea, air, and land. Formed by President John F. Kennedy in 1962 to conduct unconventional warfare. They are made to carry out clandestine, small unit, high-impact missions that are not fit for a large fighting force. The SEALs' ancestors were crucial to the victory of World War II and the conflict in Korea. What is the emotional toll on a Navy SEAL while or after a large operation or deployment?
You know, I've been asked that question in the past, and of course everybody is affected differently. I never put a lot of deep thought into it. I volunteered for an organization knowing what that organization did. I did the very best I could do at the time, and they paid me for it. Mm-hmm. And that was about as deep as I got into it. It was a job, and I tried my best to do a good job.
Second phase is, in my mind, the phase where we transition from the kind of high-impact selection phase of training to see who's committed to the program into what makes frogmen frogmen, into the block of training where they'll learn the skill sets that comprise why NSW is the maritime component of naval special warfare, that ability to operate in the water and underwater, which is kind of at least the foundation of who we are. They start second phase with classroom work, which is dive physics, dive medicine, so they understand the principles and physics behind the skill sets they learn, and then we teach them on the basic apparatus how to do mostly emergency type procedures in case something goes wrong. We want to test their comfort underwater and their ability to make good decisions if things are going wrong so they can save themselves and frankly to our community, more importantly, save their buddy if their buddy's in need.
If you could describe Bud's training with one word, what would it be, and why would you use that word?
Well, Bud's training didn't exist when I came through training. It was underwater demolition training, and that's where the SEAL team members were picked from, is the UDT teams. And so you went through SEAL team training, actually in the SEAL team. They had their own training cadre. It was sometime later that they developed Bud's training and moved everything from the amphibious base over to the beach on the Coronado beach where the team area is. So Bud's came along a little bit later after I had already came in.
What does BUDS stand for?
Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training.
The Navy SEALs have the most advanced training on the planet. The definition of BUDS comes from NavySEAL.com, which stands for Basic Underwater Demolition Training, SEAL. Comes in 3 phases. The first phase of BUDS training is basic conditioning, in which then peaks with a week-long training exercise in which the trainee only gets 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Second phase, which you saw a small part of a small time ago, contains 8 weeks of diving and training underwater. Finally, the third phase contains 9 weeks of land warfare perfected throughout the Navy SEALs' history. The men that make it through Hell Week normally make it through these 3 grueling phases. 6 brave men from Kaufman's Naval Combat Demolition Unit 11 went to England to prepare for clearing the beaches for the Normandy invasion. Of the specially trained 175 NCDU and UDT men, Omaha Beach, 31 of these men were killed and 60 of these men were wounded. The men at Utah Beach had it much easier because of the fact that it had less defenses. They only lost 4 men and 11 were injured.
That's hard to say because a lot of the things that I work with was confidential or secret and stuff, but everybody learns weapons, demolitions, diving, communications, a wide variety of things because we operate in very small groups and we operate independently. So everybody has to know everybody's job in case somebody goes down, and everybody has to be able to complete the mission.
Through time, the SEALs have completed multiple different missions. One of the most publicly announced missions of the Navy SEALs is the mission to kill Osama bin Laden. According to former SEAL Team 6 member Mark Owen, in his first-hand account of the mission that killed Osama bin Laden, book titled No Easy Day, Chalk 1 and Chalk 2 were the Black Hawk helicopters that delivered the 22 Navy SEALs into Osama bin Laden's compound deep into Pakistan. The helicopters were specially made for quietness and stealth, so the occupants in the compound wouldn't realize they were under attack until they were directly under the helicopters. Chalk 1 tried to hover above Courtyard A, but was unable to maintain altitude and crash landed. Chalk 2's pilot saw Chalk 1 crash, so he decided to land outside the compound to deliver the security team of 4 SEALs and 1 attack dog. He also deposited the rest of the SEALs on the ground to come in from the outside instead of performing the more risky move of letting them rope X onto the compound roof. To rope X into a compound is to rope onto a target from the helicopter. The SEALs from Chalk 1 immediately left the crash helo and explosively breached the first gate. As this is taking place, a sniper perched on the top of a shed to cover the compound and the SEALs operating inside. As the SEALs operate inside, 2 SEALs and assault dog operate outside the compound using the highly advanced night vision goggles and weapons. The assault dog also has night vision goggles and a bulletproof vest. 4 SEALs secure the southern door of the main building. 3 SEALs secure the northern door. Along the main road, 3 SEALs were stationed also using night vision goggles to keep the natives from getting too inquisitive. After they use their advanced explosive technology to breach the main house, they clear the first floor with their advanced night vision goggles and silent weaponry as they make their way up the staircase. Osama's son, Khalid, fires wildly onto the approaching SEALs, but their point man kills him, protecting the team. The tactical teams quickly breach the final floor to find Osama bin Laden hiding behind one of his wives. The point man puts a bullet right into Osama bin Laden's face, quickly killing him. As they collected all the intel they could find, they bagged and tagged the body. As they were leaving, they destroyed the downed Black Hawk and exfilled by the remaining Stealth Hawk and, until now, a circling CH-47 troop carrier helicopter. When they made their way back to base, it was confirmed that it was Osama bin Laden, and when they returned back to the U.S., they had beers with the president. How was it adjusting back to civilian life after you arrived back in the States?
I had no problem. I was married and I had children, and I think that gave me a little bit of an edge, to fit back into society. But I had no real problems.
After your time with the SEALs, what other careers did you consider?
Well, actually, I had another career. When I retired in 1989, I come back home. I was born and raised here. And I had been in the law enforcement field for a short period of time. And so I wanted to come back to law enforcement. I went to work for the Lee County Sheriff's Department. And I worked with them until I retired in 2002. And then I went to work for state law enforcement, where I worked until I retired from them.
Do you have any final comments to describe the Navy SEALs and the style and their mission?
The SEALs, most people picture us as bodybuilders, Mr. Atlas and all. And that's just not true. You have to be physically fit enough to accomplish your missions and do your jobs. But most SEALs look like me or any other guy on the street, and we're very competitive. We are that, but we're no different than any of your neighbors.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your service, and it has been an honor to meet you.
It's my honor, sir. Thank you, and thank you for what you're doing, and I wish you well in the future. And, I look at you, and I see the future of our country, and it's sitting right before me, and I'm very, very proud of it. So thank you.